Hey friends, Tuxx here, and for this particular video I had a request for information or help about buying Figmas, like where do you start and where should you buy them, and are the ones on eBay fake? And I get questions like this from time to time, so I wanted to go ahead and address a few of these questions in one shot. Okay, so let's say you want to start collecting Figmas. First you might say, why would I want to collect Figmas? The answer is they're really great detailed figures. Okay, they're really nice collectibles. They usually range in price from about $50 to $100. Sometimes you can find them cheaper. You can find them cheaper if they're older ones, or maybe on eBay, and I'll get more to that in a second. Or just basically online for stores that have sales, maybe a buy one get one X off or something. Sometimes you can find them at places like GameStop even, or Nintendo World in New York City. Places sell them, but they're not something you normally find in a lot of stores. Sometimes you do find them in like comic book shops and anime shops and stuff like that, but then they're usually probably gonna be kind of jacked up price wise, so buyer beware. Okay, now one thing bad about Figmas is the fact that a lot of places will make knockoff Figmas, okay? I guess in some countries it's okay to make knockoff Figmas, and so they sell them, and so sometimes these will rotate through, various online places, especially like eBay, and sometimes even like Gamecom, that kind of thing, different conventions, wherever you might find some fakes on the table. Now, a few things to look for when you're buying them, okay? These two here are fakes. These are ones which I purchased, and actually if you look back far enough in my queue, you'll see the actual unboxings, and the boxes were so legit, I was like questioning as I was opening them. I was like, I don't know if this is real or fake, but I knew I didn't pay much for them. So basically if you're buying one on eBay for about 10 or 15 bucks, it probably is a fake, especially if the seller is selling the same thing over and over and over again. So that's one thing you can look at. So if someone's selling, let's say, a Sword Art Online Figma that you like, Kyoto, and you see that it's like really cheap, it's like 12 bucks, and you're like, wow, that's a great deal. Take a look at the seller's other items and see if they're selling like hundreds of them. Okay, if they are, it's probably a fake, okay? Another thing to look for is that you can look at their comments to see if there's any kind of bad comments on eBay saying, oh, beware, this person's selling fakes or whatever, But I'll be honest with you, a lot of people don't mind buying the fakes, and when I bought these two, I knew they might be fake. Both of these I got for about 10 bucks each, and that was the thing, is that they're quite enjoyable, and for 10 bucks, it's like, I'll take a chance on a fake and see what it's like, Fakes can be sold anywhere though, so if you're in like a store or a con and you're questioning, is it real or not? A few tips. Okay, first off, for a real one, and like this one here is real, you can tell the stand says Figma, and that's a little touch, but for whatever reason, a lot of the companies that make fakes will not have a stand that says the company name on it. They'll just be blank, okay? It might be some kind of international law or something in China where you can't actually say the name of the company. You can make something almost in perfect likeness to the product, but you just can't call it the same thing. Maybe similar to in the US how you can make supermarkets have their own like Publix brand cola that maybe it tastes like Coke, but it isn't Coke, obviously. The big difference is that Publix brand don't advertise it as Coke, the boxes don't say Coke on them. So, but for whatever reason, the stands are definitely one tell that it could be a fake if the stand is blank. So for example, we'll take a look at Kyoto here. You can see his stand is blank. Oops, I'm losing his sword. And you can see there's a little bit of writing on it, but it's basically blank. It doesn't have the Figma logo on it. Okay, so that's one really big clue. Now, another clue is when you buy a real Figma, they have very kind of like pretty tight joints. Like the arms will stay up. They're like, this is tight actually. Takes a little pressure to move it, and the pieces stay together very nicely, you can see. So they're very posable. You can, actually put things in their hand. The weight of the camera won't make the hand fall down or something. And every now and then I have had one Figma, and it was a Persona 3 Figma, where the girl had so many weapons, it weighed so much, it was a little hard to keep her in balance. And it was a legit Figma too. But it's pretty rare. Usually Figmas are very tight. As you can see, Hiroti here, like all the little arms and everything stays in place quite nice. Very tight. Sorry if my stuff does get dusty a little every now and then. But, all in all, really nice. Even the knees, still very, very tight. And the bad thing, though, is that the packaging will look almost identical. Now, recently I got a Kyoto from Bobo's, big old box of stuff. And it was actually this one here. And this was probably purchased off eBay. And you can see the box looks very legit. You can see the unboxing of this in that Bobo's video, which I think was the last one actually, okay? Which would be either May or June. But take a look at it if you want. You can see the unboxing. Everything seems very legit about it. And now I got this one that you see here actually on eBay. and the packaging looks almost identical. You know, in fact, both were probably purchased off eBay. If I'm looking at the pictures, I want to say one looks a little fuzzier than the other one. If you take a look at them, I kind of think the Bobos one, the glare is a little bad here. I know this one might actually look a little clearer than this one. Like if you look in the blacks of the hair, that kind of thing, it just looks a little, the picture's a little bit better. The camera probably is not capturing that though, but in real life they do look a little bit different. This one looks a little bit more like a kind of like a photocopy or something, and this one looks a little bit more legit. That would make me kind of think this one is legit. But as you can see, if we open this one up, we'll take a look through here quickly at the stand. Let's see here. The stand is blank. I'm not going to take it out, but you can see right there, it doesn't say Figma on it. So it probably was a fake. But again, I have to say there's nothing really wrong with getting, you know, fake Figmas. The only thing bad to expect is that fake Figmas have one major downfall, is the fact that sometimes they tend to fall apart, okay? In the case of this one here, this I opened and it looks fine. It looks very much like the legit Figma, okay? But the problem is, like, pieces just want to fall off, okay? Like, I swear, like, if I touch this thing, little pieces are going to fall off of her, almost like she's some kind of, like, puzzle or something. Like these here, if you touch these back parts and try and move them a little bit, they're going to want to fall off, just like that. So it's really frustrating sometimes that she just lost her arm. They want to fall apart. So if you have a Figma which is constantly falling apart, girl's losing her hair, pieces of her dress, it probably is a fake. Cancer victim. I apologize to any cancer victims, but you can kind of tell, like, they want to fall apart. So that's the bad thing about fake Figmas. You know, if you really want to, you probably could, like, super glue her back together and have it be, like, legit, you know, but it's really difficult. So I really recommend buying the real deal. You know, support Figma, support the company. But, you know, again, if you buy a fake Figma, there's no real shame in it necessarily, you know. I just wouldn't go around telling all my friends, say, look at my Figma collection, if, like, they're all fakes, you know, because a real Figma collector might be like, hey, that's not, you know, Figma. And one other company, if you're really into good collectibles, there is, like, Hot Toys make great collectibles, but they're more like superheroes and Star Wars and more Western culture stuff than anime. Every now and then there's a cool anime one that pops in, but you can check that out on the Invisigal channel. She actually collects Hot Toys, and she has an amazing Groot, but the price is a big difference too. I mean, these are usually like $50 to $100, and an actual Hot Toys figure is oftentimes like $200, $300, maybe more. You know, like, they're expensive. They're like 2 to 3 times or more the price than, like, an average Figma. So anyway, guys, I hope that helps you out a little bit. Good luck with your Figma hunting. Again, check out eBay. Sometimes if you email the seller and say, hey, I only collect real Figmas, is this a fake? Like, they'll email you back and say, I don't know, you know, I can't tell. And if it's someone who sells Figmas, they can tell. Okay, if they're saying that, it probably is a fake, you know. And if they don't email you back, that's a good sign it probably is a fake too. But really, the best tell is the fact that if they're selling the same thing over and over and over again for like $10 or $15, it probably is a fake, okay? All right, guys, again, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions about collecting Figmas, you can feel free to ask in the comments below here. Of course, this video does count for an advanced entry in my next giveaway, which I'll be announcing shortly. And I'll have all the prizes and all the dates and everything come up in that video, which is about less than a week away or so. I'm still kind of working on the prize pack, but the details will be coming very shortly. Be sure and check out Tuxx Toys on Instagram and Twitter for previews of upcoming videos. Be sure and check out Tuxx, my upcoming gaming channel. I'm doing, like, little test videos on that right now, just kind of to see where I want to take the channel and what I want to do with it, so you can check that out. Subscribe. I've been doing giveaways on there for codes for Pokemon 3DS, like characters, like downloadable characters for your Pokemon game, and other things too. And then also be sure and check out Tuxx Reviews, my review channel, which has all sorts of things that go all across the board, everything from computer mice to keyboards to clothing to weird bug zappers to, like, anything I just don't have a place for in my other channels, they go on to Tuxx Reviews, okay? All right, my friends, we'll talk to you soon. If you got a good Figma, let me know what your favorite Figma is that you own or you'd like to own. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.